Right. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local moringa farmer. We're here at Newman Nursery, and we're planting moringa seeds. We're getting ready for spring, and we're very happy that you're joining us today. We have fresh and local PKM1 moringa seeds available, and we're going to teach you how to plant your moringa seeds effectively so you can get your moringa farm started, moringa business, moringa journey, and let's get started. So we grow moringa trees in cone pots. It's very beneficial to grow trees of all kinds in taller pots because of the root system. Now, other plants, they can grow in short pots, but if it says tree on it, it's best to grow trees in tall cone pots. They can be bigger cone pots, or they could even be like 5-gallon pots. Either way, you want to grow trees in tall pots. And this is how we grow moringa trees, and how you should also be growing moringa trees where you are, because of the root system. And you can see, oh, it's starting to pop out right there. It's only been like 2 weeks. Nice. And that root system will fill all that up. There's a tap root in there. Trees have tap roots, and that's why it's beneficial to grow trees in tall pots. So let's go ahead and get started. I thought I had some cone pots just right here. I'll show you. Actually, I'll tip this over so that way you can see. We're going to just go right over here. Cones. So we got some cone pots here. All right, it's a beautiful Friday evening. Hope everybody's having a great time. Maybe you're watching while in traffic or something, and hopefully we can learn something today about growing moringa trees. All right. We mix soil, so let's talk about a little bit about soil. We mix different types of soils together to make a good potting soil. You want to start with like a sandy base, something that has very good drainage. Sand has a natural alkalinity, so it raises the alkaline consistency, especially like in Florida, other places like Texas and even California can have a little bit more alkaline soil, which is why it's really great and easy to plant things in. And then we also add peat moss. Look at Gandhi. Gandhi's over here. I don't know if you can see, he's right here. Gandhi boy. And this is our pile of peat moss. And so this is peat moss. This is from the bottom of like a old lake bed. We buy it from someone in the neighborhood who also sifts all the big particles out, like the bark and things like that. And this pile here that I grabbed from has a little bit more chunks in it. The pile that's just behind it is a lot more thin. It has a lot less larger particles. When planting seeds, you want to use as fine of a material as possible. You don't want to have like big chunks in there. You don't want to have like big pieces of roots in there. So I've already like pre-mixed a really nice soil base for our seedlings. It has about 50%, maybe even 60% topsoil and sand, so that this first batch that I showed you, we start with is just like sand and topsoil, and then we added a little bit of perlite, which is here. Perlite is like a volcanic rock, which adds drainage. It's mined. It's something that you can use if you want to choose not to use mined materials. You don't have to use perlite. It's just something that is also added to soil, and you can purchase this at any local nursery. We have a little bit of perlite here that we could offer if you needed some. Perlite just adds drainage, especially for like small cones and things like that that are in pots. Things that are especially like in pots really love well-drained soil. They don't like to be bogged down with water. Of course, there's some plants that like to be more water soaked, but moringa is a softwood. The roots do not like to be wet. They like to be dry. They're from the desert, and so they like to be, they'll shoot up with like a rain overnight. They'll shoot up feet overnight with the rain, and then they can live for months without any rainwater. So perlite is one of the things that we add to the soil that really helps with drainage. Just in the cones, just in the small cones, and maybe in the small 1 gallon pots. All right, so we've got a little perlite in there. We've got about 50% topsoil sandy mix, and then we have about 50% humusy peat moss. And this makes a really great potting mix for moringa trees. And this is what we put in our cones. So we'll go ahead and I think the cone is just dropped in there. We'll go ahead and bring you in a little bit closer so that way everybody can hear me. If you have any questions, please go ahead and comment. I'm watching the comments here. We're live on TikTok, and we're also live on YouTube right now. You can find us at Numa_nursery on any platform, Numa Nursery, and we're here in Plant City, Florida. All right, so we've got a big job ahead of us. We have to fill this greenhouse this weekend. So we've already had some help. Our helpers already kind of filled the greenhouse a little bit. You can kind of see there's already some pots there, already in there. We've already taken the pots from the last sprouting, like these little babies that are right here. We've already taken them out of the greenhouse, and they're just sitting over here in the nursery. All right, great. So you don't want your seedlings to be too compacted. So I just literally just scooped up a little bit in there. I'm gonna kind of like put some in the bottom, make sure there's plenty in the bottom here. And we're gonna grab some seeds. I got a bag of seeds of like immature seeds. So like I harvest thousands of moringa trees in the neighborhood. I get all these seeds from local trees. But I have a sifting process. I have a way of sorting out really dark, mature, really good looking seeds from like say the young, immature, not so ripe seeds. You know, if a moringa seed comes off of your tree and it's light colored, it either just means that you harvested it too early. It's either immature from a young tree, the tree is very, very young, and that it might be a dud. One of the reasons why our germination rate, not only this time of year is a little bit lower, but it's also just because I use seedlings that I don't know if are gonna sprout, or I just give them a chance. You know, I just want them to try. A lot of people are like, you know, can you plant the lighter color ones? And yes. So a lot of these have grown trees. I've noticed that no matter what, even if it's like really tiny, like, let's see here, like even like something like this, like really, really tiny, you might think is nothing, right? Especially on a moringa seed. Usually moringa seeds, of course, look nice and dark and big. And these are from the mature seed pods. And then this is from something like, say, from a small little mini drumstick, maybe a young drumstick, a green drumstick versus a brown drumstick. And you know what? I've had success just sticking these even in pots. We put them at the surface. We put them very high up on the pot because they rot very easily. I'm not sticking it like way down in there. I'm not like putting it like way down. That to me is gonna rot. It may not actually ever really grow. The thing is that the seeds, they fall on the surface. You know, they fall on the surface of the ground. And so like even just having it very close to the surface, I have found that the seeds sprout lovely. I mean, within just a few days. And so like, I don't really cover them very much. I just kind of like put it at the top there like that. And there is an art to putting the seeds in a pot, which I'll explain. And then I just kind of cover really lightly on the top. I don't really press it down too much. It's covered. As long as it's fully covered, you're good. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the tray. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can do 50 of these really quick. If you have any questions, like I said, please comment. I'm gonna go ahead and just put these in. I'm just kind of throwing the soil in there, kind of putting it down just a little bit. You know, I want the bottom to have enough soil in there. So I'm kind of, I don't want to compact it too much, especially like around the top where the seed is. Oh, here's a nice dark one that we got. Nice. See, not every single one of them. And then I sort them out. I actually take the paper. I take the paper that's on the wing there. See the paper that's on the wing? I take that paper and actually make paper. I've been making paper from this, so I'm really excited to share with you our paper making process. We're taking the paper off the wings and we're making paper products. So I just stick the seed there on the top. Okay, you want to know the secret to actually planting and growing moringa to the best ability? I'll give you a secret. Now, this is not everybody's going to do this off the first bat, but luckily you're here live with me right now, and you might be able to see this video in the future on YouTube at least. I'm really spiritual. I'm really connected with electromagnetic frequencies. I'm an empath, and I feel energies. I love the sun. I watch the sun. I watch the sunset regularly. I watch the sunrise regularly. I love to feel that melanin magic enter my body. It's the same thing with the seeds. If you line the seeds up on an east-west plane, so this is west right now, the sun's coming down right now, so this is east-west, right? This would be north-south. This would be east-west. You guys know about that philosophy of sleeping with your head, like in the east. As the sun rises, you rise with the sun. I actually like to sleep with the sun coming up and then my eyes wake up with the sun. But it's very similar to that. We're waking up with the sun. So what I do is I actually put this seed. You can see here, there's 3 wings. There's a bottom wing, and a top wing. It's almost like a pyramid. It's like a triangle, right? It sits flat on the pot, just like this. And that wing there, that vertical wing, is on an east-west plane. It took me a couple years to figure this out, but I did some experiments. I tested over and over again. I tried this out. I would put seeds in there like this on a northwest plane. You can see that, right? That's northwest, or north-south, on a north-south plane. Didn't sprout as much, maybe got maybe like a 50-60%. As soon as I put them all on that east-west plane and had them all lined up with the sun, I'll go even deeper. This is something that, this is a $1 million like idea right here that people will not tell you. There's a flat end of the seed and there's a tapered end of the seed. The flat end of the seed is where the roots and the stems come out. If you put that flat end on the east where the sun is coming up, that's like your head. It's rising, it's sprouting. Oh, by the way, it's new moon right now. You feel that new moon energy? If you know farmers and you know when to plant seeds, you know to plant seeds on a new moon. And that's what we're doing right now. We're planting these seeds on a new moon. This is our ritual. We love doing this. Every new moon, we're planting seeds. Hey, what do you know? You're at Numa Nursery. And Numa stands for new moon because farmers plant their seeds on new moon. And when you put that flat end on the east and that tapered end down on the west, those roots and those shoots, they sprout super fast. Within 5 days, you could get a tree within 5 days. If you literally just put that on an east-west plane flat like that in a cone pot, something with tall roots, lightly cover it, and then just set that aside. Give it enough room. You can see here we have these trays here. I'm not putting them in every single hole. I'm using every other hole. And that's because once they sprout and the greens get really close together, I'm giving them some room to breathe. I'm giving them some room to grow. Give them some room. All right, let's do what we came here to do. Plant some seeds. I'll be like Seed Bay. Let me be like Seed Bay. Woo! Woo! Yes, we're planting seeds right now. Bam! Seed Bay in the house. All right, now we got some seeds. Just gonna put that right on top. A little bit of soil on top. Bam, and we keep on moving. Whew, we got thousands of seeds. Do you have any questions? You need to learn more about moringa trees? Please visit my website, newmanursery.com. I built the website myself. It's a beautiful website. We've got over 100 different products that we make by hand from the moringa tree, east-west plane. We got the flat end. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a flat end. It's more flat on this side. And then there's like a tapered end. It comes down like a little teardrop. And then so we put that in there like that. At the very top, it's at the very top. You don't want to sink it down too much. And we just lightly cover it. And we keep it protected in the greenhouse, you know? Because the greenhouse is on an automatic watering system. And it waters about 10 minutes every morning. This time of year, I could probably even water it a little bit less because it's not as hot. And so it doesn't dry out as much. And because you also don't want to like overwater, it causes fungus to build up. Like Seed Bay. All right. Bam. Oh, this one's a double seed. There we go. All right. All right, we got to keep on going. We got at least 1,000 of these to do tonight. I'm going to be here until well after dark. I just wanted to come in real quick, give you guys some value, show love, moringa love, everybody. I'm out here. You can visit me any day between 10 and 2 if you need to learn some more information about planting seeds, growing trees, if you need to pick up some trees. You know, springtime is in the air. We're in Tampa, Florida, and it was a beautiful 80-degree day today. You know, the other day we did get down to like 40-something. That's the thing in Florida. It's like up and down, up and down, up and down. And yeah, we're having a great time. This is pretty much our ritual in the evenings now, especially during new moons. We just plant as many seeds as we can. All right, so we've got a nice dark seed here. Now you can open this up and see inside a little white seed in there. See that? That's the actual part that grows the tree, and this is actually where the oil is. This is where we press the seeds to make oil. This is the most valuable part, and that's where the oil is. You can even stick that in there if you wanted to. Yeah, sure, why not? It doesn't have that shell on it. Now, it could rot easier. See, the shell protects it. So everybody's like, you know, can I pick the shell off? You don't need to. Just know that nature literally drops it right off the tree on the ground and doesn't do anything, and they still sprout. So we're sprouting these trees right now. It's springtime coming up. If you need to get your greenhouse going, get it going, man. There's no time to wait. You need to be growing food. My pleasure. Thank you. We got some comments now. Awesome. I'm happy to help. We have seeds. We have seeds here. We'd love for you to stop by our website and grab some local moringa seeds. Everyone's asking, can I get some seeds? Can I get some seeds? Yes, most certainly. We're in the business of seeds because we love planting seeds and also trees. We have a special right now. You can get 10 free moringa trees. We have a special, 10 free trees. And you can get 10 free of these moringa trees right now if you just visit that link in the website there. Check out the link, go to the website. We sell 10 free moringa trees with a starter kit. And so you do need to get a starter kit to get the 10 free trees. But they'll come to you in a box and you can start growing them right away, and they come. 10 free trees. It comes with a starter kit. Starter kit comes with seeds. It comes with powder, tea, capsules, spice, deodorants and salves, everything that we're making by hand comes with the starter kit. Now there's also a grow kit. We have a grow kit. Now if you want to get the tray, the cones, the soil, and the seeds, we have everything available also on our website. Visit numanursery.com, check out the grow kit, the Moringa grow kit. And you'll get this right here. You'll get this delivered right to you. Not the sprouted trees, but the seeds. So that way you can grow the trees just like this. And this kit right here, it comes to you. And it's time to start growing some food. You got to start growing moringa trees. If you're not growing food right now, you're just a consumer. So make sure you're producing something. Make something. This is what America was built on, was producing and making and growing. That's where we are right now. We're here in the US, we're here in Tampa, and we are growing moringa trees. Now moringa originally is from India and Africa. And we have a lot of Indians and Africans and Caribbeans and everyone all over the world here watching because they grew up with moringa and they know the benefits. Everybody's like, how come I never heard of moringa? How come I never heard of moringa? Well, maybe it wasn't time for you to know about moringa, but here you are now, and you know now. You know. Some people are like, man, I grew up with this tree, and I didn't realize how valuable it really was. Because we made $100,000 this year from moringa in 2020. So you can make $100,000 a year. Oh, this man says, been eating moringa since I was born. Wow, where are you from? That's wonderful. I've only been eating moringa for about 7 years. And I fasted on moringa for 30 days. On that 30th day, I spoke to the spirit of moringa, and she said, thank you. And I said, well, I'm indebted to you, and I'm going to make sure everybody in the whole world knows about moringa. Because honestly, moringa saved my life. It's a complete protein. Everybody's like, what's so good about moringa? Oh, yes. Oh, he's from the Philippines. Exactly, malunggay. Yes, we just got off the phone with a lady from the Philippines. She loves malunggay. And she's in California, actually, Anaheim, California. And she was like, she just got 10 trees. She got 1,000 capsules. She got the starter kit. Man, she's like, I can't believe I found you. And she's like, I haven't been able to find malunggay in the States. I bet you they have it in Hawaii, though. He's in Hawaii. We've had actually several customers from Hawaii visit us. Oh, I forgot to add. One of the things that we add to the soil is azomite. Azomite rock dust. Yes. Start growing in North Florida? Absolutely. Now, during the wintertime, if you get a little bit of a frost or a little bit of a freeze, you can cover the trees. You can grow the trees over the summer, like an annual, and you can cut them back really short. If there's any kind of frost, you can always regrow it every year. Awesome. He said he's got a bunch of moringas in Hawaii. Wonderful. And we're going to be all year long in Hawaii. Absolutely. It's tropical there. Like right now, we're a little bit of in a dormant season. And so like the trees lost their leaves. So I start focusing on other things during the wintertime. You know, I start focusing on like, you know, planting the seeds, pressing the seeds for oil. I try to stock up on moringa for the website all through summer. You know, we make harvests. You know, we're cutting the trees back here in the neighborhood all the way till about December. We haven't really made a harvest in a month, so everything that you get here is about a month since harvesting. Oh my gosh, someone just said that they love the fruit and the flowers. Did you know that the flowers from the moringa trees are actually more anti-inflammatory than the leaves? Is there another variety of moringa that produces more seeds than the normal oleifera? Thank you. Yes, absolutely. PKM1. That's the best one that has even more seeds. Now I've heard more recently there's another one called the Momax, or like the type 2 or something like that. I'm still learning about all the different types. See, I got it there. So yes, there is, of course, the PKM1 does produce more seeds. How do you know anyone that purchases my leaves and seeds? Yes, I will. And the co-op. Call me. If you have trees, if you have large moringa trees, call me. Join the Moringa Growers Co-op. This is what we do. We harvest trees from anyone that has trees organically grown, especially if you're in Florida. But if you're outside of Florida, hey, from Connecticut. Wow, wonderful. You want to grow some trees? But if you want to, if you need help, someone to buy your greens, we buy Moringa Greens. That's what we do. So if you've got big trees, give me a call. We can myself, or we can get somebody over to harvest the trees safely, respectfully, in love, in nature. Thank you. You know, we just praise. And I hug every tree that I'm cutting back and I'm using for food. I'm hugging it. I'm saying thank you. So if you've got extra greens on your trees right now, we need greens. If they're dark, like we had a guy earlier this morning that called from Fort Lauderdale, and he's going to come next weekend. He says he's going to get his tree together and he's going to bring his material up to us. So we started a co-op. We started a Moringa co-op. And we're co-oping these trees together from anyone that has extra greens. Don't let them go to waste. Do not let those greens go to waste. How far away from start of winter would you stop pruning and topping? As soon as they start yellowing. I'm not harvesting trees that are yellowing. I have to get them before they yellow. So, because I only sell greens, I don't sell yellows. You know, so the last time I'm harvesting the trees for, say, products is as soon as they start to yellow. Sometimes I come up to trees and they've already lost a lot of leaves, a lot of yellowing, and so the owner's like, well, what can we do? Is there any way that I can get some money from the greens? And I say, well, it was just a little bit too long. You got to call me a little bit earlier in the season. I can cut it back right now, no charge. I'll just cut it back, and we got to wait till it flushes back out in the summer. And then they call me usually in the summer with huge amounts of greens. So yeah, if you've got moringa trees and you need me to come by and harvest them and cut them, you can also send me your greens. So if you know how to dry your greens, you already know how to package your greens, let's talk, because we have a whole program with the co-op, with the Moringa Growers Co-op, to be able to bring your greens in. As long as they're organic, we got to test them, and then we can use them in our products. So there's a little bit of a process that goes through with come to Hawaii and cut down my trees. Heck yeah. Also, let's work together. You know, what if I got an order in Hawaii? You know, someone calls me in Hawaii like, hey, can I get an order of a kilo of greens? I want to call you. I want to call you because you have the trees, you've dried the trees, and then we can pay you for that order. That's how the co-op works. And we're working together, making sure more people know about moringa. We've almost got like 20 here. So yes, so there's the PKM1 variety of the Moringa oleifera that you want to get. At least these are all PKM1. What I do is when I go around town and I'm harvesting, I'll bring you a little bit closer. I like the idea of starting a Moringa Growers Co-op. You live in South America. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, please. We want everyone to start their own co-op as well in the city that they're in. And we could also help you in South America. Just reach out, go to moringagrowerscoop.org or even newmanursery.com, and we can help. If you need help either learning how to grow or either just help selling your greens or find a market for your moringa, we can help connect you with buyers and growers and farmers all over the world. We are becoming the hub. The Moringa Growers Co-op is becoming the hub for all moringa growers around the world. We have a Facebook group also that I post on regularly, I go live on. And it's a group just with moringa growers. And we're talking about how to get the co-op more established. We have a board of directors right now. We're actually searching for a few other positions. In the co-op, we need directors, we need people, we need hands, you know, we need growers, we need harvesters. So if you're in a tropical region, possibly in Florida, maybe Texas or California, and you can grow moringa in your backyard and you need some extra income and you're looking for other ways to make money, you know, we buy greens. We buy moringa greens. And so if you can produce a high quality product for us to buy, we'll buy your greens. And say like someone orders on our website 50 kilos of powder, you know, and we're like, shoot, we don't, and say maybe they ordered those 50 kilos of powder, say like in Arizona. We have a lot of customers and friends in Arizona. What if they bought those greens what if they bought from our website in Arizona, and you're in the co-op and you're in Arizona, and I call on you saying, hey, we have a customer in Arizona right up the street from you. Can you supply them with those greens? And so any step of the process that you want to be a part of, what if you're in Arizona and you want to just grow it and you don't want to deal with people, you don't want to deal with shipping orders, you don't want to deal with drying and packaging and processing, because it's a lot. That's cool too. We can also cater to you in that you may not want to have any responsibility other than providing the space and the land to grow the trees. That's also an option too. Yeah. So yeah, any more questions? Anybody there? You have any questions? I'd love to answer your questions about trees, about yellowing, about growing in pots, growing moringa trees in pots. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local moringa expert. I've been growing moringa trees for about 7 years. This is my passion. I love moringa. It's very easy to grow. And I was telling you, one of the ways to make it easier to grow is by adding some azomite rock dust into your soil, especially for added minerals like iron, especially. Anytime you see anything green like this, anything that's green, that's iron. This is Iron Man. Yep, and it's got iron in it. If you have iron in the soil, your greens are going to be green. If you're lacking iron in the soil, it's going to come out yellow and blotchy and spotty. So you got to add nutrients and minerals to your soil to get even better, darker greens. And so we've got sand, compost, we've got a little bit of perlite, we've got some azomite, and we've got some peat moss for also kind of keeping it a little bit wet, but also for a little bit of minerals, but also for pH. You know, it kind of keeps it a little bit more neutral, especially if like the sand in the compost is really alkaline. It kind of keeps it a little bit more neutral. You just kind of want to avoid, for moringa, you want to avoid clay. I know in Australia, we've had a few people hit us up from Australia. They have a lot of clay. A lot of people in Texas have clay. I'm interested in growing moringa as well. I appreciate your extra advice. Anytime, I'm glad to help. I do consultations one-on-one. If you need me to teach you how to grow one-on-one moringa, I'm happy to go one-on-one with you. I have a consultation option on my website, and you can choose the consultation. Get me for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on the phone, either on a Zoom or either in person. Like I said, we've got the guy coming in from Fort Lauderdale. He's going to do a consultation, and he's going to get his farm started. So I'm really interested in helping as many people start their moringa farm as possible, specifically moringa farm. I don't put any of those soil. I just cut it down and plant it directly into the ground organically. Exactly, yes. Well, you're in Hawaii. You have freaking volcanic, like, black gold there. Okay, not everybody can have all that. But yes, you know, in the summertime, in the spring, you know, we put cuttings in the ground also. That's what's so amazing about moringa, is that you can put the cuttings directly in the ground and they regrow. I have lots of videos about cuttings, especially just it's one of the reasons what makes moringa so special and unique. Oh, Houston. Oh, I heard about Houston. We had a call this morning. Yes, it is cold. It's about to get like down to -1 degrees there in Texas right now. Yeah, careful. All my moringa growers in Texas, they were calling me like, I gotta get the plastic up, it's going down. They were like, oh man. Yes, they're definitely covering up their moringa trees right now, but you can grow it like this in a greenhouse, even in the ground where you are. You can get a greenhouse up, get them in the ground, put a moat, make a moat around your greenhouse. That way that permafrost doesn't get down into the soil. And you can grow moringa trees pretty much anywhere with the greenhouse. You know what's funny? We get a lot of people actually asking us, big shout out from Australia, what's up in the house? Yes. What was I just saying? We have a lot of people calling us. Oh, from Alaska. We have so many people that are like, can I grow moringa in Alaska? And I'm just like, you know, yes, try it out. You know, what's cool is that Alaska actually has like 24-hour sunlight in the summer or something like that. So like, dude, I'm sure you could grow moringa in the summertime up there. I know it's a very short window, but if you planted some seeds there within 30 to 40 days, you could probably get at least a product or something. So thanks guys. Thanks everyone and ladies and anyone interested in growing. I can answer your questions one-on-one. Text me, call me. This is my text line, direct line to me. Nobody else has it. Nobody else is watching it. It's just me. It's 813-567-3100. Is there a pruning technique to produce more pods? Yes, I'm so happy you asked that. Actually, I was just asked that question earlier. Someone said, how come my tree is like really tall and lanky and it doesn't have any branches on it? The best technique to get more seed pods, more drumsticks, is to just cut it back. Wherever it splits, wherever your tree splits, go ahead and cut it at about a foot above the split like this. So if like your tree's coming up and it splits like this, cut it up here. It might be this big, right? It might be, and you might have a couple of branches here and there, but it might be really lanky, even especially in the wintertime. But if it's like this tall and it splits like right here, go ahead and just give it a little, just cut those branches off right there. It might seem drastic, it might be severe. Tell the moringa tree thank you. Tell her that you're gonna be eating her, you're gonna be using her. You love her, give her a hug, appreciate her. Give her a little token of respect, put a little mirror on there, put a little trinket on there, put a little something, give something, put something at the base of her tree to give, of the tree to give back to her at the same time as you take something, cut it, and it split. Cut it again, within a couple months, she'll split again. And then she makes a nice big bushy tree and has tons and tons of drumsticks on there, and then she's overhanging with hundreds of thousands of drumsticks. It's food, okay? This is like one of the things that I try to help people realize with moringa is that it is a food, right? And when you're in the wild, if you're in Africa or you're in India, lots of V's. Yes, at every V, he's asking, can you cut it at every V? Yes, please look at some of the videos that I have of when I drop it back and I bring those trees back, especially for wintertime, and I prepare them. You can cut it at any V. You can actually keep the tall ones straight up. I don't touch any of the straight ones. I keep those ones tall, and then I just kind of trim around the edges, and I kind of just harvest. Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, just give me a text. You can give me a call. Everyone, please be in touch with me if you have any more questions. And so what I do is I leave the tall ones straight up. I don't touch any of the tall ones. And then I'll just kind of harvest around the edge. And I just kind of keep harvesting the edges, and I leave the tall ones. And I love doing that because out of respect, I don't need to take the whole thing, you know. But what I was saying is that moringa is like food, right? And animals come by, like rhinos and elephants, these vegetarian animals, they eat it up. Deer, all kinds of animals, antelopes, everything out in the wild in the Serengeti and the Sahara, they love moringa. and it grows. It grows naturally. It grows wild there in those countries. And so it's food. And so what people don't realize is that moringa's nature is to give. It's providing abundance. And it needs to be eaten. In order for it to be alive and to thrive, it needs to be eaten. And this is the thing, is that the more you eat it, the more she gives back. If you're just looking at it, yes, you can love it, you can appreciate it from afar, you can not touch it. It's beautiful. She's a sacred tree. She's very powerful in her own right. And even if you chose not to eat a single leaf off of her, she will still give back to you. And you don't have to touch it, you know. Exactly. Someone just said the elephants, they do the natural pruning and the natural forest, maintenance. Like animals eating the forest and eating the trees is a natural form of maintenance. Oh, here, look, here's a flat end here. Here's a nice tapered end here. And I'm laying the two wings down on top. I'm not setting it too far in, and I'm just kind of planting it right on top there. So if you need to hit me up, have any questions, my number is 813-690-6516. You can get me on the phone. Just type any number. It's just a menu. You can type any number. It's going to come right to me. Between 10 and 2, that's usually when I answer. Eastern time, 10 to 2 is when I'm answering every phone call between 10 and 2. And so if you need some more info, you need to get some seeds, you want to feel safe about where you're getting your supply from, that's me. I'm your trusted moringa farmer, and we grow everything organically in love, in nature. And we're just putting these seeds on here. Bam! Be like, seed bay. Woo! Yes. We doing it, man. We're growing trees now. We have an order for about 3,000 trees coming up in March. Someone called me like 6 months ago, right when winter was started, and they were so stoked, and they call me literally like every 2 weeks. They're like, Kendrick, you got the 3,000 trees for me? I'm like, yes sir, we're planting these seeds at any time. You can come pick them up. We've got 3,000 trees. So if you're trying to get 3,000 trees or 1,000 trees, and you want to get your moringa farm started, because that's what we focus on. We focus on helping people get their farm started. I'm an architect. I help design and build moringa farms all around the country. And so if you want to get your moringa farm started, I'm helping to do consultations. I actually need to get back to someone. They emailed me about a consultation in San Diego, and I'll go out to your property. I'll go check it out. And I'll go check your place out. If you need me to come by, check your farm, do some design work, and you need me to help you build your moringa farm, that's what I'm going to specialize. That's what I specialize in. My architecture career was started building houses and museums and city buildings, civic centers, and things like that. But I fell in love with farming, and I really want to just focus on building and designing and growing farms. And so I'm your local farmatect. I'm a farmer. I'm an architect. I'm an artist, a lover of plants. And here it is. It's new moon, and we are planting seeds. Woo! Salt Bay. They call me Moringa Poppy. I was out there. I don't know. You know who it was? One of my best friends. He was like, Moringa Poppy. And I was like, you know what? That's got a good vibe to it. So I've been sticking to Moringa Poppy for a little while, a couple years, and just been really focusing on moringa. It's bringing a lot of attention and attraction. If you're trying to get your moringa, if you're trying to get your plant business, your nursery business, or any business started in the plant industry, I'll give you some advice. The best piece of advice that I got from a friend of mine who had his own nursery: what's the minimal land you need to start a profitable farm? Okay, I'm gonna get back to that one. The advice that I'll give you if starting a plant nursery is to pick one thing. Get really, really good at that one thing that people know you for. There's thousands of plants out there, right? But until you have the one thing that people know that you're good at, they won't know you, and they'll find somebody else. So pick something that you love. That's that one thing. That's the thing, is that businesses form a niche. You know, you can't just go out there and start out as a Walmart or, you know, sell everything. Get you one thing that you're really good at, whether it's seeds, or whether it's plumeria, whether it's garlic, or whether it's, you know, whatever it is. Just do that one thing and do it hard. You know, go hard with it. Okay, so here it is. What's the minimum you need to start a profitable farm? Very great question. Okay, let's talk about profit, because that's what we're in. We're here. We want to make. So I made $100,000 this year on 2020. Profit. That's still maybe not was it profit, but I'm just getting started. This is a startup company, and so there's a lot of costs involved in getting started. I had to buy this land, 2.5 acres. You know, have to buy the equipment, have to buy, you know, the perlite and azomite and soil and all that stuff, because my property is not making soil just yet. Yes, I have a compost bin over here. You can see I have a little compost bin over here, and have my banana circle over there. Okay, so what does it take to, how much land do you need to start a profitable moringa farm? And so I started growing moringa trees and making money off of moringa trees in other people's land, other people's property. So you personally don't need anything. All you need to do is you need to knock on someone's door who has some land and a yard and ask if you can plant moringa trees on their land. Next step is, once you have the land, or you do have land, I would suggest, for the fastest return, grow them intensely in a raised bed, about 6 inches apart. Just pop seeds in every 6 inches and get you like a row of like 20 feet, just like you would lettuce, just like you would any kind of root tuber like turmeric or anything like that, and plant moringa as an intense little spot. Even if it's just a little circle spot and you've got a bunch of trees in there, they're all sprout, right? You can shave those greens off every 45 days, and you can become profitable from growing moringa in just a small little backyard, right? And from there, if you really want to step up to the next level, you could probably, on 1/8 of an acre, plant about 50 trees, 6 or 7 feet apart in a staggered formation like we have here at our farm here. And I have lots of information about this on my website, also on my YouTube channel, about how to plant them out. And you can get about 50 trees on 1/8 of an acre. I have 50 trees on 1/8 of an acre in Seminole Heights in Tampa, and we have made thousands of dollars off those trees. Drumsticks, greens. It's been 5 years. This was the first property that I planted out. It's on 1/8 of an acre, 50 trees. Oh, I'm from Maryland. I grew up in Baltimore. Welcome. Someone's asking, is moringa good? Is it good for growing a moringa in Maryland? Well, it is a tropical tree, and it could grow there in the summertime, just like I mentioned, as an intensive 6 inches apart in the summer, and you could harvest the greens every 45 days. And so on 1/8 of an acre, how long does it take to harvest? How long? You can harvest within 45 days. You can sprout these. Look. How long? These just sprouted a week ago. That's how long. And that's as long. Ooh, those are strong. Oh, wow. Yes. Wow, those taste amazing. That's how soon you can harvest moringa. Just a couple days. So if you had thousands and thousands of sprouts, and you literally just within a couple days over the summer, you're in Maryland, you're in Connecticut, you're in Alaska, you're in Ohio, Ontario, Canada, and you've got summer and you've got space, you can grow these out intensive, right? Just boom, 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 like every 6 inches, and then just eat them. So just like a microgreen, you can take a little machine and you can go right off the top like a lettuce, just go. That's how soon. Now, what I'm gonna do from now, here on out, this stem will die, but the root system will stay alive, and the root will grow a whole new stem. Yeah, it's amazing. What I'll also do at this point is I'll take this root system out of the pot, I'll put it in a bigger pot, and it sprouts even more sprouts. I have examples over there I want to show you. But maybe I'll save that for the next live. Because right now we're planting seeds right now. I got a couple more to do. The sun's going down. I just wanted to get this in real quick. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and joining. We're here at the Numa Nursery YouTube channel. We're also here at the Numa Nursery TikTok. We're alive and enjoying life because it's new moon right now. And our only responsibility on a new moon is to plant seeds. Gandhi, what are you doing? Gandhi's, you're putting holes in the plastic. It's making me having to replace my plastic. Cats. That's right. He helps protect us in the farm. He just wants some attention. Everybody say hi to Gandhi. Gandhi boy. That's our boy right there. Gandhi, he protects us. He loves moringa. He eats moringa with us. Oh man, he's with us when we're making all kinds of stuff. So here we are. We've got a few more questions. My sister has a huge tree. She doesn't want to make money from it. I do. I want to make money from your sister's tree. I want to come by. I want to cut her tree back a little bit. I want to harvest her greens, and I want to sell it on my website. I want to go ahead and make some money off of some moringa trees. That's right. Oh yeah. Let's make some money off of moringa. If she doesn't want to make money, that's okay. There's plenty of people that want to make money from moringa, especially us. From the Moringa Growers Co-op, we want to make some money from moringa because we love moringa. Yeah, come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down to Moringaville. That's right. And we got it. We got about 50 done here. This was fun. This was great. This is what I needed to do today. I just needed to go live with you guys, let you know that I'm here. Is there anywhere in Florida good for planting moringa? Yes. The entire state of Florida is great for planting moringa, especially anywhere around the Tampa, maybe Orlando area is a little bit cold, but anything around that line right there, like Tampa and below, that's even better. I just got a call from a guy this morning in Fort Lauderdale. He said, yo, my greens are ready. Can I come and bring you some greens? I'm like, totally. You got greens? Dark greens? He's like, yeah, man, we got them. They're still green. They're still dark. And there's a ton of them. Can we harvest them for you? And so he's going to be bringing us his greens. We're going to buy his greens from him. He's going to bring us some greens. And that was it. So we got ourselves 50 seedlings here. We're going to go and stick those in the greenhouse. And that's my goal for the day. I want to be able to at least plant at least 50 seeds. So what do I do with the trees in the fall? Cut them back. As soon as they're starting to yellow out, go ahead and cut them back. Before they yellow out, use the greens. Or just let them go. You don't have to do anything, man. Nature is amazing. You don't have to do anything. Don't worry. You know, like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, just let it be. Most of all, you just got to let it be. Let it do its thing. But if you want high production and if you want dark greens, it's good to go ahead and cut it back. And they do grow very well in a greenhouse in many, many areas around the country. They grow very well in a greenhouse. If it gets cold or frost, you can keep them in a greenhouse. As long as you keep it above freezing, you don't have any problems. Moringa is a tropical soft wood, and it will explode. It will explode if it's in a freezing temperature. Okay? Much love, guys. I love y'all. Peace. I'm going to be back here. Please like this video, subscribe, holla at me. My number is 813-690-6516. You can text me, get me on the text line anytime, 813-567-3100. I'm extremely happy to help you get your moringa farm going, get you profitable, get you making $100,000 a year off of moringa before the 5th year. So like I didn't make $100,000 until my 5th year. So I want to get you there by the 2nd year, you know, by the 3rd year. Can you show a large tree? I don't have any large trees right now on my property here. I started growing on other people's properties. And so we have big trees, videos of big trees on my YouTube channel. I go to other people's properties and I harvest their trees. I just got this property about a year ago, and I just started planting sticks in the ground. I got about 50, 60 trees over on our tree plot. And I have about 20 trees over here on our food forest plot. And we have been sharing information about getting your big trees, just getting them cut back. And we'll see you soon, you know, thanks. You know, I'm gonna do this more regularly. I love you guys. Moringa love, peace, prosperous growing, and I'll see you soon. Ciao. Have a great evening, great weekend, and happy new moon. Plant some seeds. If not, plant your brain as a seed and just be conscious about what we're in right now. And it's a beautiful new moon right now. And just wait, within 2 weeks from now, everything that you manifested will grow roots and it'll sprout into great ideas. So go ahead and get those journals out, start writing tonight. This was my gift to nature on this new moon. And so I'm gonna go inward at this point in time. The sun is coming down, I'm gonna be quiet. I love you guys. You're awesome, thanks man, thanks. I really appreciate it, you're awesome. And we'll see you soon, peace.